There's a silent truth in this world that many hesitate to face, let alone voice openly. Most people, whether they realize it or not, are prisoners to others. They are bound by invisible chains of dependence, waiting for someone to rescue them, guide them, and lead them through the labyrinth of life. But here's the question: who will take that role? Who will rise above the rest and be the one that others lean on? That individual should be you. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to tell you that you should constantly aspire to be nice, unselfish, or giving, because those are the adjectives people love to hear. I'm here to tell a blunt truth. Control is power, and power is what matters in a world that thrives on turmoil and uncertainty. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you will climb above the throng. The strategy is simple. Make them dependent on you. Dependency is one of the strongest forces that governs human interactions. It's far more potent than love, loyalty, or friendship. When someone is dependent on you, they are tied to you in a manner that no amount of wonderful feelings can mimic. Think about it. Love can fade. Friendships can be betrayed. Loyalties can alter. But dependency, that is a force that is rarely broken. It's a force that keeps people coming back to you again and over again because they need you to survive, to thrive, or just to function. Let me ask you this. Would you rather be loved, or would you rather be needed? Would you want to be someone's first choice out of devotion, or their only choice out of necessity? Being liked is ephemeral. People's choices fluctuate, their moods swing, and their feelings for you can fade overnight. But being needed, that is enduring. That is the foundation upon which great power is created. If you want to make a lasting influence, if you want to be the one in control, then you must learn how to make people need you. You must weave yourself so deeply into the fabric of their life that they cannot imagine living without you. You must become irreplaceable. When people are dependent on you, they have no option but to align themselves with your interests, your ambitions, and your wants. This is how you soar above the competitors. This is how you become untouchable. The first step in making people dependent on you is to uncover their weaknesses. Everyone has a soft spot, a vulnerability, or a gap in their lives that leaves them feeling uneasy or incomplete. Could be financial, emotional, intellectual, or even spiritual. Your duty is to locate that weakness and exploit it. Weaknesses are windows into people's souls. They indicate what a person lacks and, more crucially, what they need. You need to position yourself as the solution to their problem, the answer to their need. The more critical the requirement, the more they will depend on you to satisfy it. In the office, for instance, you may see that your colleague suffers with a certain ability. Perhaps they're poor with statistics, or they lack the capacity to manage their time. You volunteer to help, step in when they falter, and slowly but surely, you become crucial to their success. They lean on you because without your support, their weaknesses would be exposed. Over time, they become reliant on your skills, unable to function without your involvement. In personal interactions, it's the same premise. Find what someone is lacking, whether it's confidence, affirmation, or support, and deliver it to them. Become the one who fills that emptiness, and soon they won't be able to walk away. They won't want to, because leaving you would mean returning to the empty space you once inhabited. This is the insidious power of dependency. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's unrelenting and unavoidable. The secret to building dependency is not to give indiscriminately. It's to deliver value strategically, in a way that increases your position while keeping the other person committed to you. This is not about being a continual provider. That's the mistake many make. They donate without thinking, without intent. but you must offer with precision, with meaning. You offer just enough to address the situation, but never everything. Keep them hungry. Give them a taste of what they need, but always leave room for them to come back for more. You don't want to offer someone all the tools to remedy their issues forever. No, you want to keep a part of the answer for yourself, ensuring that people remain linked to you. If someone can walk away from you without suffering loss, you've given too much. Look at the most powerful systems in the world. They operate this way. Governments, corporations, even religions, they don't provide people all the answers. They offer them just enough to keep them reliant, always coming back for more counsel, more support, more direction. You need to adopt the same approach in your personal dealings. Never forget that the value you supply is your leverage. It's your bargaining chip. If you offer too much, you lose control. But if you offer just the right amount, you maintain your grip on their lives. They'll learn to rely on you because they realize that without you, the puzzle stays incomplete. In a world of endless choices, the most valued position you can occupy is that of being irreplaceable. People are expendable in practically every element of life. Jobs, friendships, and even sexual relationships may be traded out in a second. The goal is to position oneself in such a way that replacing you is unimaginable. How do you become irreplaceable? By mastering a unique talent or expertise that others cannot simply copy. By becoming the expert, the go-to person in a given subject that people depend on. This could be in your work, where you become so specialized that your departure would cause chaos, or in personal relationships, where you offer a form of emotional or intellectual support that no one else can provide. Don't aim to be a jack of all trades. That's for the replaceable masses. Instead, hone a particular expertise that makes you indispensable to those around you. If you can achieve this, then dependency is no longer a choice for them, it's a necessity. You don't want them to feel that they could find someone else to replace you. You want them to recognize that losing you means losing a key part of their lives. This is how you establish yourself a permanent presence in their universe, one they can't picture operating without. People are not rational animals. They prefer to pretend they are, but the truth is that emotions govern most of their decisions. If you want to reinforce someone's dependence on you, you must bind their emotional well-being to your presence. It's not enough to provide material or intellectual support. You need to make them feel emotionally anchored to you. This can be achieved by portraying yourself as their source of comfort, approval, and security. When someone feels emotionally comfortable with you, they will fear losing that sense of security, and that fear is what keeps them dependent. But here's the evil side of this truth. To preserve emotional relationships, you must also regulate the level of that security. If someone feels too safe, they may start to assume they can survive without you. You need to create a delicate balance where people feel comfortable by your presence, but constantly somewhat on edge about what life might be like without you. This doesn't mean being harsh or manipulative. It simply means reminding them that the stability they feel is related to you, and that without you, the ground beneath their feet would feel wobbly. One of the most powerful tactics in establishing dependency is the art of withdrawal. When others have come to rely on you, the strategic removal of your support will increase their sense of need. It's just human nature. We frequently don't understand how much we depend on something until it's taken away. At occasions when you think that someone is taking your value for granted, pull back slightly. Remove yourself from the equation just long enough for them to feel the absence. Let them struggle without you. When they realize how much they've grown to depend on you, they will come crawling back, anxious to reclaim the support they had taken for granted. This strategy is not about penalizing individuals. It's about underlining the significance of your presence. You are telling them that their security, their success, and even their happiness are related to you. This establishes a stronger tie of dependency, one that becomes harder and harder to escape. You could be thinking if this method is too dark, too deliberate, or perhaps manipulative. But here's the truth. The world functions on power dynamics whether you admit it or not. If you don't make them dependent on you, someone else will. You can either be the one tugging the ropes or the one being strung along. Dependency is not inherently harmful. It's a tool like any other, and how you use it depends on your aim. When you make people dependent on you, you are taking control of your destiny. You are ensuring that you are not easily abandoned or forgotten. You are erecting a fortress around your life, with others bolstering its walls. Remember, to be required is far more powerful than to be liked. Likes fade, but necessities endure. By being the central pillar in the lives of others, you lift yourself above the temporary and fleeting ties of the world. You become indispensable, irreplaceable, and finally untouchable. So rise. Become the one they cannot live without. Become the force that people rely on to manage this crazy world. Make people dependent on you, and in doing so, guarantee your place in the hierarchy of power. Because in the end, control is the ultimate kind of power. And the most potent control of all is the sort that people freely surrender to when they need you more than anything else in this world.